Welcome back to the Catalyst Experience. I hope you all are truly enjoying your experience thus far. It's been a pleasure speaking with so many phenomenal speakers. I know you guys are like really pumped up, but listen, we don't want you to stop with the momentum. Make sure you're following us online at the hashtag, which is TCENYC. Again, TCENYC 2022. Make sure you follow that hashtag. Make sure you also follow our Instagram page for all updates. And if you're looking to win any of our prizes, follow the hashtag. Today, we are so honored to really have a conversation, just a really interesting conversation with two strong Black men within the community. And we just want to have a conversation, an honest conversation about Black men in America through the lenses of successful men that we are speaking with today. So it's my honor to speak with Alan Connor. He's a transactional attorney out in Pennsylvania. He's going to be speaking with us in terms of what does catalyst mean to him and who has been a catalyst in his life. And of course, we also have the honor of also speaking with the founder of Ballin for Peace, Haron Hargrave. He is a former athlete, a former basketball player, and he's super talented. And he didn't decide to just up and leave. He came back and formed an amazing organization to empower young people through sports. So, gentlemen, welcome. How are you?
Good. How are you? How's everyone?
All is well. All is well. Yeah.
Good.
Just
so,
ready
Alan,
to get it.
So, Alan, really quickly, I want to ask you, what does catalyst mean to you?
I would say catalyst means to me having a strong purpose in life, having something that you could reach for, something that you can strive for, something that can motivate you to go above and beyond, and just bettering yourself. I would say that's what catalyst means to me.
Awesome. Walk us through really briefly, the young people who's listening, walk us through your career. How did it begin? Like, what was your inspiration to be an attorney? Like, what was that journey like?
So it started off, I guess, around like the age of 12. I've always loved helping out people. Was always interested in the law. I've seen the law affect my family on the criminal justice side. But I really had no interest in that because I don't particularly care for the criminal justice system. But I understood the power of law, and I understood that law encompasses everything in society. So ever since I was 12, I just, I also love business. I also always thought about ways to start a business. When I was young, I had various business endeavors. One time I was selling throwback jerseys. Did not go well. That was short-lived. But so being an attorney, understanding that I could interact business and law, which is why I'm a transactional attorney. And I think as an African American, I think it's very important for African Americans to be in this space in transactional business law, because there's so much opportunity in the business world. And we need to be able to be successful businessmen. And we can't just focus so much on the talent. We have to focus also on the representation. And the legal side of business is very important. And I think it's very misunderstood and left out. So I've always thought that being an attorney in that space would be able to help out Black and brown people. And I've been striving for that goal since I was 12 years old.
I love that. And this is a really good segue as we speak to Haron, because Haron, you are a former basketball player. And so you played at a high level. So let's talk a little bit about that in terms of kind of like the intersection between being a former basketball player and speaking to a transactional attorney. Have you ever encountered in your journey having that, speaking with someone of his caliber in terms of what you do as a profession?
Yeah, I have an attorney. I've actually, growing up, we don't really know what attorneys do, or, we think of it as like, like you said, in the law, right? And, and going to court and things of that nature. But I actually wanted to know, I was going to ask him, a transactional attorney. What exactly is that, and why did you choose that over, say, the traditional attorney that most people would know about?
So the type of transactions that I do, so I used to work for a firm in New York City.
Mhm.
There I did mergers and acquisitions. To put it simple, a company would buy another company or two companies would merge. So all the documentations, all the contracts that were, that were important in that transaction,
Yes.
I drafted those. And then I also did trademark. Trademark,
Yes.
put it simple, is a logo. Pepsi's
Yep.
logo, all the laws that intertwine with that logo, how to protect that logo. Now I work for a firm in Pennsylvania, and it's a narrow market, it's a niche market. So we represent banks and small business loan lending. So most of our deals are backed by commercial property or business assets. So I handle all the transactions for those deals.
Yeah.
I do a bunch of those deals there.
That's
Yeah.
That's awesome, because those are the you're one of the main people for people like me and Kamisha need to know, and as a small business and nonprofits, we definitely need to know about trademarks and having certain things a trademark for, like even for the name Ballin for Peace. There's another Ballin for Peace, but they spell it FOR. And every time that we have things going on, they start hashtagging out, using our hashtag and things of that nature. And so I understand the importance of having things trademarked and different things when you're, especially a smaller business and things of that nature. So you're definitely somebody that we appreciate. And I even just learning a little bit more about what you do, how important your job is to a lot of businesses like us. But yeah, so Kamisha, you was asking me about being in sports and having conversations with a transactional attorney. I actually, my tax lady Diana, she's actually like an attorney as well too. So I kind of just used her for like multiple things. Like she does the taxes, she does like looks over my bylaws for Ballin for Peace and my trademarks. So it's like he does. I'm sure you do a lot more than just than what you spoke to us about, but you guys are very, very, very important to our culture, our business, and it's not many of us, doing things of that nature. So definitely gonna support you and help you out and get you some more business if we can,
Well, he's being a little bit coy because he actually is working for one of the leading transactional law firms. So he's been a little bit.
Oh, he don't need our help. He don't need our help.
Don't need our help.
Nah. I mean, definitely. Kamisha, I appreciate that. But no, I mean, I work for the firm that I work for. It's like we're like the best in small business lending. We do business all around the country. Yeah, but I don't know if Kamisha told you this, but I am eventually going to start my own law firm because I want to focus on small businesses and I want to focus on entertainment and sports law. And the reason why I want to do that is because I feel like there's a great need for Black and brown representation because, as I alluded to earlier, the talent we dominate that industry as a talent, but we're heavily taken advantage of. We don't know the business side, a lot of us. And we're losing money, we're losing opportunities. And these opportunities and money that we're losing, it's our community, we're losing that as well.
And we cannot build generational wealth.
Yes, we need to build generational wealth. And fortunately or unfortunately, the greatest concentration of Black and brown wealth in the United States is in entertainment and sports.
Absolutely.
And we need to be able to manage it much better. That is my number one driving force to get into that industry, because I want to see us do well. I want to see us build generational wealth. And I hate to see these tragic stories about these NBA players who made hundreds of millions of dollars in their career and they're broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, should never happen. Should never happen. So what would you say is like the biggest like thing that someone who has no clue what they're doing, but opening up a business, do you think that they should get someone like you and hire someone like you, a transactional attorney? Who are you, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it for someone with a small business to like have a transactional attorney?
Well, I would say definitely it's very important to start off to try to figure out what type of company, what type of entity you want to create, because that's very important. There's various different legal benefits that come with that, versus a corporation, a limited liability, a partnership. So to form the entity, I think it's very important to consult an attorney for that. When it comes to the trademark, if you're really not that big, you're starting off, like, you don't really need an attorney for the trademark issue stuff, because no one's really going to think that your trademark is conflicted with another trademark. No one's gonna recognize if someone uses something similar to your trademark, because your trademark is really not that recognizable at this moment. So that's a trademark is something that, once you get big enough where you really have a presence out there on the internet, you really have a lot of clients coming in, then you should start thinking about, I need to get my logo trademarked. But outside of that, I mean, if there's employment, if you have employees, you should definitely have an attorney look over your employment contracts. And if you're dealing with IP issues, like trade secrets, especially a patent, you need an attorney for that. Don't mess around. If you have a patent, you need to get an attorney for that.
Yeah. Quick question. If you do, this is a personal question. If you have something trademarked, do you have to do it every year?
No. So they're trademark. So it's basically like a management. You have to manage the trademark. So attorney, typically, if you have an attorney, the attorney will monitor the trademark. Make sure that if someone's misusing your trademark, the attorney will get notifications. The attorney will do research, a checkup, like, okay, let me research, let me see what's going on with this trademark, let me see if someone has used it. And then every 5 years you have to what's it called, renew. You have to renew every 5 years. Okay. But outside of that, I mean, it's just management, making sure no one's misusing it. You got to renew it every 5 years. And that's it. But renewal is very important, because a lot of companies, they forget all about it, and they have no idea that their trademark has been dead. And once it's dead, most likely you can't bring it back to life. It's over. Unless you have a really, 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 really good reason. Most likely you don't. If you just failed to just manage it, then you can't bring it back to life.
Wow. Okay. Good to know.
Great information. Thank you.
Great information. Absolutely. We are definitely going to continue this conversation. This is a powerful conversation. What I heard and what I learned, trademark. What I also learned, like Jay-Z said, we always want to act like we own everything, but do we really? Ownership is about protecting your identity, protecting your assets, right? Even if it's an idea, how do you protect it? So as you guys, as you students are listening to this video and listening to Mr. Allen and Haron, start thinking about ways that you want to even, whatever you're creating and how you can protect it. This is also part of generational wealth. So we're going to continue these conversations. I want to thank you so much for joining us on the Catalyst Experience, Mr. Allen Connor, transactional attorney, and Haron Hargrave, the founder for Ballin for Peace. It's been a pleasure moderating this amazing panel. Thank you again, you all. Keep using that hashtag TCENYC 2022. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you for having me.
Peace.
Peace.